We're going right into Raw, Di, or no?
Yep.
Are we doing anything about the pay-per-view? We're just going to Raw.
I didn't watch it. You guys want to talk? I mean, I know what happened.
Yeah.
I only watched a couple matches. I was going to watch the rest and do it later with Joe.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's
do it. Okay, do that.
You don't do pay-per-views.
Yeah, let's do Raw.
Well, I don't do all the pay-per-view. I do some of them.
You do none of them.
Not watch the pay-per-view.
Which was the last one you did?
The one before this.
Crown Jewel?
No, the one before Crown Jewel.
SummerSlam?
Mine's not that good.
Do we do SummerSlam?
Well, if you actually expect me to watch like 2.5 hours straight of wrestling matches, it's like that's just like
watch the condensed. version.
I do. I know what happened. I saw the finishes on YouTube. I mean, there is no condensed version. It's just the matches, and there's just 5 matches. It's not like there's a lot of other stuff happening on it. It's different.
Well, there's promos in between and that.
Not really.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you. But usually in pay-per-views, they have promos setting up matches. I mean, that might have changed.
That's actually, they had the promos during the weeks leading up to it. There's not a lot of promos.
And then in between, they usually have video packages and some promos backstage. Yeah, they do. But anyways, I'm not going to fight over something stupid like that. If you don't want to see it, I'll just do it with Joe. If you want to see it, then all 3 of us will do it. What are we arguing about?
Let's talk about Raw. Did you guys see Raw?
What was rating?
Yeah, they did big total 1.88. It was up 29 or 27% rather. And yeah.
Bad game. Orton returns, Punk returns, kind of expected. But something even bigger is developing. Bro, there's a good chance Raw might go into TNT, right?
Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I did see they're the top.
Yeah, where Dynamite and all them are, huh?
Yep, they're the top suitor or whatever so Time Warner is.
Oh,
okay.
The show's not going to change or anything, so.
No, all I'm saying is, my point is, okay, in this world of one-upsmanship, how brutal would it look if WWE kicked them off their rating because maybe they say, hey, you have high ratings. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think
now Dynamite and that whole Collision Rampage now has to go look for a new home. Not that they couldn't. Maybe USA, Hulu. What?
Here's what they would do. I'm assuming they would do.
Right.
You're paying TV rights for programming. I'm pretty certain nobody's going to argue that AEW would garner less rights fees than WWE. They just pay for both, and obviously they'd pay WWE a lot more. Because you get way more
both on the same network.
Yeah, why wouldn't? I mean, what's the big deal?
Because I think, again, just looking at back history, they don't play well with others, and I doubt WWE is going to want to. I don't think WWE is going to allow it, other than another wrestling promotion, to be on the same network while they are. They're going to ask for exclusivity. You want the top brand, you get the top brand. We don't want them on our network. Yeah. I think.
Well, it's not their network. They're not in a position like to make the demands if they're getting paid the money.
Yeah.
So they're paying the WWE to be on their network, and the WWE, what are they going to say? Well, we're not, we want exclusivity, and they say, okay, well, you're not going to get exclusivity, so we're not going to pay you. So now you're not on a network.
Okay. Let me ask Joe a question. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Please look this up if you have to, just for the questions of veracity. All right. Yeah. What a tremendous word for Latino on a podcast.
Very good.
Has there ever been a time when WWE on a pay-per-view or on a network said we do not want WCW on the same channel that we are on, and we want exclusivity? Did any of that ever happen?
Yeah, it started. The first Survivor Series was put on to kick Starrcade off the pay-per-view networks. Yeah.
Whoa. You guys are talking about pay-per-views. I'm talking about network television.
All right. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Joe.
Yes.
Disco just lost a bet to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to bring up the fact he's lost 2 to me, but do you think you'll ever get paid?
The next time Joe sends me the money, just keep $100.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to make you a bet. I'm going to make you a bet. Ready? Yeah. Here's the bet. If WWE goes to Warner Brothers, I guarantee you AEW won't be on that network. You want to make that bet?
How much you want to bet? I think you're missing. I think you're talking about a couple of details that I think you're overlooking here before we decide on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
Number one, I thought that Warner Brothers and AEW kind of like they've got a piece of them in this.
That's been rumored.
I thought they got a piece of the company. So okay, well I'm just saying I think you would want to find that out first, because if they have a piece of AEW, why would you get like I even think you would agree they're not going to kick them off their network. I just
think that even with a piece of them, they might be able to say we're going to cash in our chips. The ratings aren't going up. We got 3. Would you be? Well, the one thing. Here's the one thing we always say, and Tony always puts this out there, and I doubt he'd put it because he knows how people would drag him if he was wrong. He always puts, hey, we were the number 1 show this week, this night, or whatever. We were the number 1 show on cable. We were the number 3 show on cable. Maybe for them, those are good enough numbers, but I have a feeling, just knowing WWE and just knowing how the business works, that they might say, okay, these guys have better ratings, and that's what they're going to go with. We're going to make more money with you if they were partners. I'm just surmising here.
Well, here's just a couple of things that came up.
Bring it up.
First, I'll time out. I want to do one.
Go ahead.
Who is reporting that Warner Brothers Discovery is the number 1 suitor? I can understand that too, and I can also absolutely see Warner Brothers courting the WWE, which is like one of the number 1 television productions in all of TV. Like we can't even for live. Right. Yeah, I mean they're like it's okay.
Right. No argument.
And they're looking at their partners with the company that doesn't even have production meetings before the shows.
But I don't think they would know that, would they?
No. Oh, absolutely. They absolutely have to know that, right? And I think they would be looking at the professionalism of the 2 companies and think, well, which one? The one that's getting twice the ratings, one more professionally looks, or AEW. And Tony, like you said, you're right. Tony does not. They haven't improved. He hasn't improved the production. He hasn't learned any of the lessons. So I can absolutely see that. See, I can see them terminating the relationship with Tony. Because the rights deal's coming up, Joe? Right? And then Tony would have to go on like country music, CMT or something like that, right?
So there's Hulu, there's Amazon, there's Netflix, there's everything.
Max.
Plus 2. You make a good point, Konnan. Plus 2. Giving Tony that extra show on Saturday night was kind of like a trial, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
The numbers have not been, like I said, the Collision numbers have not been good.
Yeah.
Like they gave him another show and stuff like they've invested in AEW and they're looking at the numbers. And like Brandon Thurston put a chart up. Remember how for 10 straight years WWE was just like a downward slope, right?
Right.
AEW looks their graph looks the exact same. Just a downward slope from day one. And I think they're probably
what's funny is that people have always said this, and I think Meltzer was the first one I heard say it. He always said that WWE, when they have no competition, they just sail by, but when they do, kick it up, and they have right now, and I mean they're just hitting on all cylinders. I think that this kind of weird because remember when Tony made the statement, obviously it has not aged well, that who did he compare to the NWO and all that, remember at the beginning?
Oh, Punk and all those guys coming in.
Punk, Adam Cole, and Danielson.
Okay, yeah, how's that aged? So but
actually that was Punk that said that, I think. This is kind of like Bash at the Beach.
My bad. Then Punk. Okay, here's the second one. So Tony said, hey, I'm not going to make the mistakes, Eric did, right? Mm-hmm. Seems to be making quite a few of them.
But mistake after mistake.
And here's the biggest one. Here's the biggest one. Eric said, he was pretty concise about this. He said, one of the biggest mistakes I did was letting them talk me into doing Thunder. Right? Because there's so much work and it wasn't worth the hassle, but it was a lot of money. We don't know if they were like, hey, we want these 2 shows. They're easy to produce. You're already there. You don't got to travel. You don't got to pay travel. It's extra money for you. And he was like, could use extra money. And I found out that balancing act is not as easy as it seems. Could we say that or no?
Yeah.
So we don't even.
Let's get to the reviews.
What's an interesting conversation that wrestling fans like, even though you don't?